Hi, welcome back to the three-part Yoga for Beginners series from the St. Louis Public Library and me. I'm Jackie Kinealy. I'm a local yoga teacher here in St. Louis, and this is part 2. If you missed part 1, don't worry, you aren't far behind. You can still do this practice, but you can go back and look for part 1 on the library's YouTube page or Facebook page. We're building up in this three-part series to a morning routine, a 20-minute routine that you can do every day to help yourself wake up and feel good and get the energy moving, get the blood circulating, and start your day really well. So in part 1, we went from lying down to sitting, and in part 2 today, we're going to start in table pose. But you can also do that from a chair. I know that being on hands and knees isn't comfortable for everybody, so you can do the kneeling part in a chair. You can also do it seated on the ground, and then we'll be standing for a portion of this. If you are chair bound, you can also do that standing portion from your chair. That's totally fine too. So let's get started. If you are going to be kneeling, hands and knees, get a blanket for underneath your knees. That could be helpful. You could pause this video and get a nice blanket for yourself, and then meet me on your mat. So let's stack our knees about underneath the hips and wrists about underneath the armpits. Look down at your hands, spread your fingers out wide, and if you can, press into the knuckle mound, the index knuckle mound of the index finger, outside edge of the pinky and the palm. So the hands are nice and spread out, broad and soft. And we'll slowly start to move the spine from here. Let your belly go down, your tail lift, and your chest lift, and your chin lift. This is cow pose. Exhale, round your spine into cat pose. This is where the shoulder blades slide apart. You're arching your back, tucking your chin, and tucking your tail. Let's keep that pretty mild for the first few rounds. This is so nice, guys, to warm up the spine and to send a fresh supply of blood and fluid to the discs between your spine. And it's also a good place to practice breathing. Inhale as your chest and tail lift and your chin lifts and your chest expands. Exhale, round your spine, tucking tail, tucking chin. If you are in a chair, you're just moving your spine the same way, but your hands are in your lap. Nice and easy. Begin to close your eyes if it's comfortable for you, and feel your whole spine moving slowly, gradually with your breath. You might notice other ways your spine would like to move. You could take your hips to the side, circle hips back to heels, other side and forward. You can take your shoulder to your hip on one side and feel the length on the other side of your body from making that C curve. The idea is just to become more connected to your body, to your breath. Notice where there are spots of tension, of stuckness. Breathe into them and move. 5 more breaths. Are your palms still nice and wide and grounded? Are you breathing? And the good thing about this is that it works even if it doesn't feel great right at first. Maybe it feels a little awkward or uncomfortable to be moving your spine, but that's a good sign. Let's just keep it gentle, and the more you do it, the better it's going to feel. Let's tuck our toes now and glide the hips back towards the heels. Some of us might have our hips all the way back and the arms forward in a child's pose with the head down. like so. Others might have the hips lifted away from the heels and the forearms on the ground. Take the second option if your knees aren't comfortable bending all the way back like that. Take 3 breaths and know that this is a resting posture. Any yoga class you take, anytime you need to take a break, you can come here. Breathe all the air out of your lungs with the coming exhalation. Walk your hands back towards your knees and toes are tucked. Push the ground away with your hands, lift your knees, and rock back onto your feet. Straighten your legs, fold over your legs. If you're in a chair, fold your chest over your legs and stretch your upper back. If this isn't comfortable with straight legs, bend your knees generously. Let your head and chest relax. Standing forward fold. Uttanasana in the language of yoga. Bring your hands to your shins. Push your hands against your shins and slowly start to walk yourself up. Push your feet into the ground to support your lift coming all the way up, and stretch your arms up and overhead, or whatever height's comfortable. Bring your hands together and our hands go to our chest. Bring your arms to your sides. Give your shoulders 3 rolls. Feel those shoulder blades moving as you shrug up, shrug back, shrug down. The biggest, nicest loops that you can. One more. Let your shoulders settle down your back. Feet are a little wider than our hips, and arms relaxed at the sides. Begin to turn your torso side to side. And as you do, let your relaxed arms hit against your upper abdomen here and your back low ribs here. If you've ever seen a child with their arms tucked into their coat, empty coat sleeves spinning like this, that's the idea. Keep your feet grounded and just let your rib cage turn side to side. Relax your arms, relax your arms, relax your chest, relax your shoulders. If it's a little much for your low back, just make it a little bit milder. You don't have to turn so fully. If it's feeling okay, turn your chin to look over your shoulder. Now, I could do this for probably 10 minutes, but it's only a 20-minute class, so we won't. We'll just take it for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and slow it down. Let your momentum carry you back to stillness. Let your arms stay relaxed. Keep standing tall and feel a groundedness, a density in your lower body. Bring your right hand to your left rib cage now and stretch your left arm up and overhead. Use your right hand to keep your ribs pointing forward and circle your arm around as you exhale. Now I find, and maybe you find, that keeping my ribs forward, I have less range of motion in my arm than I thought, but that's fine. We're isolating the shoulder and taking 3 nice, relaxed loops around with the arm. Try to keep your torso facing forward and just move your arm up, back, and down like a backstroke. One more loop around. And this time your arm comes up, you'll stretch up alongside your ear. You can release your right hand down to your side and turn your palm to face, you can't see my palm, turn your palm to face away from you. Reach out through your fingers and lower your arm like the arm of a clock, slowly, gradually coming down. Take your right ear towards your right shoulder and pause at a place where you feel a nice stretch through the top of shoulder, neck, and maybe even down into your arm. Reach through your fingertips. Take 3 deep breaths, feeling the side of your neck. You can adjust your chin if you want. And now bend the right elbow, bring your head back to the center. Your left elbow rather. Can you hold your left elbow with your right hand behind you? And just bring it back a little bit. Doesn't have to be a lot. Maybe your arm's more out here. Just bring it back a little so you can feel the left shoulder blade coming closer to your spine and the left side of your chest opening up. Maybe it doesn't feel super comfy. Don't push into a point of pain. But the discomfort is okay. Means it's working. Breathe through it. And release your left arm down. Bring your arms back in front. Bring your left hand to your right rib cage. Stretch right arm forward, up alongside your ear, and then back, like a backstroke again. Deep breath in, arm lifts. Breathe out, arm goes back and down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Smooth loop around. Your body's facing forward, just your arm is moving. Next time your arm is up alongside your ear, turn your arm, rotate so the palm faces away from you, and you can release your left arm, and like the arm of a clock, right arm goes down, left ear towards left shoulder. Do you feel that nice stretch as you can pause? Aim your right fingers in a diagonal line downward. Your chin's to the side. Notice where you feel a stretch. Breathe into that feeling. For one more breath. And then let your arm come down, chin to the center. Right arm bends, tucks behind your back like you're hiding a surprise from somebody. And then your left hand to your right wrist. And draw in as much as feels comfortable. Keep this right shoulder rolled up, back, and down like we did when we were first standing. So you feel some space across your chest. And find a point where you're right at the edge of your mobility and your comfort. Don't make it a sharp pain. Don't make it feel like it's going to damage anything, certainly. But right to that edge of your range of motion is a sweet spot where we can stay and breathe. And train the nervous system to stay calm even when something starts to become uncomfortable. One more deep breath. And relax your arms back down to your sides. One roll of your shoulders, reset. Then stretch your arms up and overhead, and we'll take a side bend to the right. Now, if arms aren't comfortable all the way up here, they can certainly be down and your left hand to your shoulder. Push down into your feet. Breathe deeply. Feel the stretch in your left side. One more breath in. And exhale back to the center. And other side. Stretch your arms up and lean, or right hand to the shoulder. You'll get a similar side stretch. Even if your arms aren't up, if it's not good for your shoulders, just do this chicken wing. And breathe into your side. Push into your feet. Imagine roots growing down through the bottoms of your feet. One more breath in. And back to the center. Okay. Bring your arms forward. Bring your arms down, bend your knees a little, send your chest towards your thighs, hang over your legs again with your upper body, and push into your feet to straighten your legs as much as you can. We're stretching the hamstrings here, the backs of the legs, backs of the thighs. I'd like you to bend one knee as you exhale and press the heel of your other leg into the floor, isolating one side. Relax your jaw, relax your head, let your neck let go of the weight of your head. Switch, bend the other knee. Other leg is straight with the heel pushing down. One more inhale. And exhale. Even out your legs. They might be a little bent. We'll bring our feet back, take a big step back to downward facing dog. So spread your palms out wide. Bend your knees. And imagine a diagonal line in your hips going up and back. Press hands forward and down. And imagine you're trying to press your bottom into the intersection of the ceiling and the wall behind you. However much you need to bend your knees to press down into your hands and lift your hips up is fine. This is the first downward dog we're doing in this series, and it's more to explore than to perfect. We'll work on it a little bit more in the next series. If it's not working for you, if it feels really uncomfortable for your shoulders, or there's too much pressure in your head, lower your knees and come back to child's pose. It's important to spread your palms out wide in this downward facing dog, to send the hands forward and down, to relax your head, so don't try to look up, just relax your head and send your chest towards your thighs. Let's take 3 more breaths. And I'm sorry I'm just saying this now, but if you're using a chair, take your hands to the back of the chair standing and let your chest go down like that. And you can do downward facing dog with the assistance of your chair. If you're in down dog, lower your knees towards the ground. Set your hips back towards your heels in child's pose, or that version from before where your hips stay elevated. Relax your face, relax your hands. Begin to walk your hands back towards you and have a seat on the floor. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Flex your ankles so the toes point up. And if you have a blanket, like we talked about in session 1, it's always nice to just sit on the edge of the blanket with your hips. Let's bring our arms alongside parallel to the ground. Push into the seat and reach for your feet. If you don't get your feet, your ankles or your shins. If you have a belt or a scarf or a strap at home, you can take that around the balls of your feet. Now imagine that you're pressing down and back through your seat, a diagonal line going down and back. Let that diagonal line continue up through your spine, through the crown of your head. And take 3 deep breaths. Feel your whole body and breathe. One more breath here. Release where you are holding your legs or feet. Slowly come up. Rest your hands in your lap. Bring your palms to your chest in a prayer position. And if you'd like, set an intention for the day ahead. maybe something specific or a word or phrase that helps you stay oriented in the direction that you want to go, how you want to treat people, how you want to treat yourself. Maybe it's simply an intention to be a conduit for love and goodwill to other people today. Whatever it might be, take 3 deep breaths, feel into that. Feel that you are that. Release your hands to your lap. That's it for this session. I'll see you next Monday for our 3rd session, where we'll go through a whole, complete, feel-good morning routine that you can do regularly using the skills that you've built so far in these other 2 classes. Thanks so much for joining me, and I hope you have a great day. Namaste.